Good morning, everyone. I am Tyler Jabiniao from the First Facilitators. And as we start our discussion for today, let us think back about our childhood. Our childhood memories that we spend with our parents, that moment that we encounter our first bruises, and that moment that we started to learn how to write. This is just a simple introduction as we go on into our lesson. I created an organizational chart to look through in our topic for today. That memory of your childhood that you can still remember is under in the long-term memory. Long-term memory is divided into two parts, which is episodic and semantic knowledge. Semantic knowledge is divided into three parts, which is declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge, and conditional knowledge. So the first thing that is under the long-term memory is the episodic knowledge. Episodic knowledge is referred to our biographical memory, reflecting not only what happened but also where it happened. It also includes individual personal histories. One of the example of this are the experience in the past. This is more on personal and varies in every person. The next is the semantic knowledge. Semantic knowledge is the opposite of the episodic knowledge. This is not tied up with our personal biographies, and the person usually acquired this through being involved in organization and associations. One of the great example of this is the knowledge that you acquired in school, in participation to some association that can improve your knowledge. This includes the facts, the concept, and the generalization. So as we know that the semantic knowledge is from the knowledge that we acquired from the association and organization, it is divided into three parts, which is the declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge, and the conditional knowledge. So the first thing that is under the semantic knowledge is that declarative knowledge. It deals with the statement of the truth. It also answers the question what. So declarative knowledge is simply a type of knowledge that accounts for knowing what. The question what have a very wide scope. That is why under the declarative knowledge, it is divided into some parts such as description, time, elements, process, causal relationship, episodes, generalization, principles, and concept. Then let us look through the difference of each one of these. So the first thing that is under the declarative knowledge is the description. It is the most basic among the eight. It simply describes a person, object, event, or ideas. The next is the time element. Time element is the important event that occur in a specific time such as life events. One of the examples of these are the birthday, anniversary, or even historic dates. The next one is the process. These are the activities that organize to create a positive result. The fourth is the causal relationship. This is the relationship that depend on the first event that will happen, and the second event will automatically follow. One of the example is that I am a businessman, and I stay all night for doing unnecessary things. So I came to a meeting unprepared, and because of this, I might lost some opportunities in that meeting. The fifth one is the episode. It is the specific event which has essential elements such as specific people and in specific situation. One example of this is when you witness a road accident. So the first specific person that you will think is to call a police officer. And if someone is injured, call for medics. The sixth is generalization. This is the statement of conclusion that derive from a specific event. Example of this is that generalizing some communities for not segregating their trashes. The seventh is the principle. This is a statement of generalization that express rules of relationship that exist between and among events. Lastly is the concept. It is commonly a single word that categorizes a class of person, things, objects, or events. So the next that is under the semantic knowledge is the procedural knowledge. The knowledge about how things are to be done. It is concerned in knowing how rather than knowing what. It explains the process of becoming than act over being. So if procedural knowledge, just remember the how. The keyword of this part is how. So lastly is the conditional knowledge. It is concerned with knowing when an individual should know the appropriate time and the condition in which certain information is to be used. So the keyword of this part is when. So just remember, for the declarative knowledge, it is to answer the question what. And for procedural knowledge, it answered the question how. And in the conditional knowledge, it answered the question when.